Hi, boys and girls. It's me, Mr. Sonito, and I've got another book for you today. And, of course, a haircut. I had to cut my own hair. Can you believe it? I did, but it looks amazing. I love my new haircut. Today's book is called My Name is Yoon. And let me see if I can get this right. Ooh, got to move this chair around. Ooh. Uh, It is written by Helen Rekorvitz, and it is illustrated by Gabby. Okay, now you know I'm going to get this name wrong. Gabby Swiatkowska. So, whew. Why don't we switch over to the camera so I can start reading the book to you? Okay, my name is Yoon, and if you remember, in one of my last videos, I read you a book called To Be a Kid. And in that book, you saw photographs of children from all around the world. Well, in today's story, you're going to hear about a little girl who has just moved from Korea to America. Korea is a country that is very far away. I've shown it to you on a map before, but I'm going to see if I can do it again just to remind you, or if you've forgotten. Let's see if I can show you where Korea is. Okay. So, here's the United States, and that would be, the black dot would be about where we put ourselves, Chicago. But we have to zoom out. We go from North America through Europe over to Asia, and over here we've got Korea, North and South Korea. You can see that. Okay? So, let's get into this book here. Let me just get set up. My name is Yoon. Now, this is Yoon on the cover. Yoon misses her home in Korea. Let's read and see how she learns to feel happy in her new home and her new school. My name is Yoon. My name is Yoon. I came here from Korea, a country far away. It was not long after we settled in that my father called me to his side. He said, "Soon you will go to your new school. You must learn to print your name in English," he said. "Here, this is how it looks. Yoon." I wrinkled my nose. I did not like Yoon. Lines, circles, each standing alone. "My name looks happy in Korean," I said. "The symbols dance together." That's her name in Korean. And in Korean, my name means shining wisdom. I like the Korean way better. Well, you must learn to write it this way. Remember, even when you write in English, it still means shining wisdom. Why do you think Yoon likes the way her name looks written in Korean better? I did not want to learn the new way. I wanted to go back home to Korea. I did not like America. Everything was different here. But my father handed me a pencil, and his eyes said, "Do as I say." He showed me how to print every letter in the English alphabet. So I practiced, and my father was very pleased. "Look," he called to my mother, See how well our little Yoon does? Yes, she said, she will be a wonderful student. I wrinkled my nose. Oh, and there's her mom and dad. My first day at school, I sat quietly at my desk while the teacher talked about cat. She wrote cat on the chalkboard. She read a story about cat. I did not know what her words meant, but I knew what the picture said. She sang a song about cat. It was a pretty song, and I tried to sing the words too. Later, she gave me a paper with my name on it. Name Yoon, she said, and she pointed to the empty lines underneath. I did not want to write Yoon. I wrote cat instead. I wrote cat on every line. Why do you think Yoon wrote the word cat on the lines instead of her name? I wanted to be cat. I wanted to hide in a corner. My mother would find me and cuddle up close to me. I would close my eyes and mew quietly. What does that say? The teacher looked at my paper. She shook her head and frowned. So you are cat? She asked. The ponytail girl sitting behind me giggled. After school, I said to my father, "We should go back to Korea. It is better there." "Do not talk like that," he said. "America is your home now." Yoon keeps saying she wants to go back to Korea. Look at her face. How do you think she's feeling? I sat by the window and watched a little robin hop hop in the yard. He is all alone too, I thought. He has no friends. No one likes him. Then I had a very good idea. If I draw a picture for the teacher, then maybe she will like me. It was the best bird I had ever drawn. "Look, Father," I said proudly. "Oh, this makes me happy," he said. "Now do this." And he showed me how to print bird under the picture. The next day at school, the teacher handed me another Yoon paper to print. But I did not want to print Yoon. I wrote bird instead. I wrote bird on every line. I wanted to be bird. I wanted to fly back to Korea. I would fly to my nest, and I would tuck my head under my little brown wing. The teacher looked at my paper. Again, she shook her head. "So you are bird?" she asked. Then I showed her my special robin drawing. I patted my red dress, and then I patted the red robin. I lowered my head and peeked up at her. The teacher smiled. "How was school today, my daughter?" my mother asked. "I think the teacher likes me a little," I said. "Well, that is good," my mother said. "Yes, but at my school in Korea, I was my teacher's favorite. I had many friends. Here, I am all alone." "You must be patient with everyone, including yourself," my mother said. You will be a fine, fine student, and you will make many new friends here. Now, why does Yoon think her teacher likes her a little? Look at that. The teacher smiled. The next day at recess, I stood near the fence by myself. I watched the ponytail girl sitting on the swing. She watched me too. Suddenly, she jumped off the swing and ran over to me. She had a package in her hand. The wrapper said, "Cupcake." She opened it and gave one to me. She giggled. I giggled too. I don't know if you can see that. Well, a little hard to see, but that's the cupcake. When we were back in school, the teacher gave us more printing papers. I did not want to write Yoon. I wrote Cupcake instead. I wanted to be Cupcake. The children would clap their hands when they saw me. They would be excited. "Cupcake," they would say. "Here is Cupcake." Now, what is this illustration showing? Is she really a cupcake? No. What is she using? She's using her imagination. The teacher looked at my paper. "And today you are Cupcake," she said. She smiled a very big smile. Her eyes said, "I like this girl, Yoon." After school, I told my mother about my ponytail friend. I sang a new song for my father. I sang in English. "You make us so proud, little Yoon," my mother said. Maybe America will be a good home, I thought. Maybe different is good too. The next day at school, I could hardly wait to print, and this time I wrote Yoon on every line. When my teacher looked at my paper, she gave me a big, big hug. "Aha, you are Yoon," she said. Yes, I am Yoon. I write my name in English now. It still means shining wisdom. Take a look at the illustration. How is Yoon feeling now? Have her feelings changed? Let me get set up so we can do a little bit of writing. All right, boys and girls, we're going to do a little bit of writing to go with the book. My name is Yoon. You will need your writer's notebook or a sheet of paper. You'll need a pencil and some crayons. So if you don't have those things, go ahead and pause the video and get ready. Now, for today's writing, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to use our imagination and we're going to pretend that we are Yoon and we're going to write a letter to our friends back in Korea. So remember in the story, Yoon came from a different country. She came from Korea. And Yoon, let's pretend Yoon is going to tell her friends back in Korea about school. I'm going to get you started a little bit. So I'm going to, let's see, I think I'm going to use a black color here. And what we're going to do is at the top of the page, we're going to write, this is how we start a letter. Dear, ear. And if you'll notice in the word dear, there's the word ear. So it's ear. Dear friends. And z. Again, this is a tricky word because the I and the E together just make the S sound. So it's dear friends. Then we put a little comma right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to write maybe 3 sentences about what Yoon has done in school, or maybe what she has seen in school, or maybe how she feels about school. So I'm going to get you started, but I'm not going to do the whole thing. Let me see. What could I write? I'm Yoon. Okay. Yoon might write, I am in school. And this is a tricky word, ska. That H is silent, ska. Ooh, 2 O's make the ooh sound, school. I am in school, and okay. Now, what are some things that happened to her in the story? I'm not going to do everything for you, but you can go back and watch the video again if you've forgotten, or you can just think for a moment, pause the video, and then you can write about some of the things that happened to her. Let me think. Didn't she see a bird? Did she make a friend? Yeah, you think for a minute, and then when you're finished, at the very end, this is what we put at the very end of a letter. After you put all your writing in here, you go to the bottom of the page and you can put your friend put a comma and Yoon. Because we are pretending we are Yoon. So this is a little different kind of writing, but I hope you have a lot of fun with it. You can add a picture at the end when you're finished, and be sure to send me a picture of you writing in ClassDojo. I miss you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, boys and girls.